Welcome to Redhead Rewriting Reality by Kimberly Sue Iverson, the story of my life as I figure out who I am after a lifetime of abuse and share my journey with that. Sharing my journey of building my author career, the struggles, bettering self, and creating a new life. I'm a multi-genre author who's published more than 53 stories and coming to you from the Pacific Northwest. And this podcast is for you because, like me, you love stories, journeys, and you just want to relax for a bit. So let me take care of you. This audio is intended for an adult audience. Themes and topics may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Now, get yourself comfy and make yourself at home. And let's dive in. Body struggles and writing updates. Where are they at? First off, I'm going to apologize if there is a lot of noise in the background or there is like an echo to my voice because it's cold here and I'm doing laundry, so there's the heater going plus the laundry machine around me, so it might have little thunks and all kinds of stuff in the background. That's why. I wanted to share some updates around my body, my writing, getting stuff back on track for a schedule, and structured routine again. I think most humans do better on routines and schedules. The issue isn't just about figuring out what works with your body, mind, your own natural rhythms, and the like, but also sticking with it. It goes into that forming a habit and all. Yet if we break that cycle, yay, not, it thoroughly goes to pot, and we have to reform another one, which is where I'm at. Even if you don't work, don't have other things that you can purposely use to work with a schedule, school is another, but are in a space of your life where maybe, as I was last year, you even struggle with movement, it doesn't mean that a schedule can't be worked in there or worked with somehow. It's little things like brushing your teeth around a certain time every day, going to bed on a certain schedule, eating around a certain time. I say around or near because life happens and maybe we don't want to move right away, or for whatever reason the schedule has to also shift, ebb, flow, adjust. I honestly work better with ish as a time versus on the dot for schedules. Unless it's an appointment or date, get together with friends, then I tend to focus more on early versus on time. I think a schedule of exacts I would balk at. Noon is lunch on the dot. Wake at 6 a.m. on the dot. Ugh. So I've always worked around ish for times. Noon-ish, I eat lunch. I might adjust the schedule to accommodate that later 1 p.m. lunchtime or remain on time for the rest of the day, but it's never a solid lockdown of time. And again, this is for those who want to try it, even if you never have or assume you hate them and haven't tried to make your own. Maybe actually try it and try to make it stick over time. That means that you will fail, backslide, want to give up, do give up, but what really would it hurt to try and keep coming back to try? And not just giving up on self, because any routine, any habit, anything we do or want to accomplish does take work. I understand all too well how hard that can be. To believe in self, or that it's worth it. To believe it will make a difference even. Trust me, I don't have the answers. You know what I do have? The urge to prove all those negative voices wrong. All those who didn't have faith in me. all those who abandoned me and had so many negative things to say, spreading rumors and more. Fine. Wanna make me your monster? I'll be your monster. That's my new philosophy when I have to walk away from someone. I am going to become the monster in your story. That's fine. Personally, schedules have helped me a lot, and I know so many it has helped. Even people who didn't think it would and had to figure out a different than normal set routine or schedule to accomplish it. Say, using an app, their phone alarms, shorter time periods, longer time periods, not day but night schedules, only a set schedule for certain parts of the day, or the rest is left to chance, whatever. The same routines have helped me prepare for bed and get up to have a steady morning, easing having to come up with breakfast in the morning thoughts, eliminating the need to know what to do before bed, releasing some pressure around decision making. That is something I read in a study about, that doing things like that can help with focus. I think it was around focus. Not sure. But if you can set up outfits before the day or breakfast, those small things can really help. And I am all about helping my mental space in any way that I can. Everything that I do is around ensuring I am doing my best mentally, and I won't hesitate to close the door against anything that threatens that. Take my breakfast. It's the same and has been for over 10 or 15 years, maybe longer. Coffee and oatmeal. On the weekends, I may splurge and have cereal. But because of having IBS, that food routine doesn't just help me stop making more decisions in the morning and waste effort to prepare it, but it helps me steady any issues with IBS that used to start in the morning. I start with that steady food and drink that I prepped the night before. Then I try to relax in the morning, and I've been getting my workout routine back on track too, so that's where that routine helps. For me personally too, I can't move much in the morning, but it's worse now. I, for whatever reason, am prone to headaches and backaches in the morning. I don't recall when it started. I remember the headaches maybe starting around my 20s. Not sure. It's been a long time. I've tried everything to stave them off in the morning, but learned quiet after I awake for an hour or two so my mind and body can catch up to being awake seems to work best. Trial and error again. Doesn't matter about food, drinks, anything. If I'm rushing and moving hardcore right after waking, I will get the worst headache during the day. Health nuts always amuse me, thinking it's around water or needing to give up coffee or I don't exercise in a certain way. They all have all the answers for us, it seems. More so those who are mid-20s trying to lecture those twice their age who don't struggle with bodily issues and can't fathom their body not working right anymore. I was extremely athletic when I was younger, the type of energy that wasted everyone's around me if they tried to keep up with me. Yet these are often single-focused on people just like them. If they work, though, for you, hey, more power to you. I'm just over those saying what works for me and what I do is wrong. Aren't you? Your failures are all on you. It's not that your body works different or your mind. It's all just that you're lazy and stupid, projecting what they see of the world onto each person they encounter. And yes, that's essentially the same that I'm doing right now. I'm just cognizant of it and do my best to see all different perspectives. So I know not all can even use this method for them to work. We have to work with our own body rhythms and figure out what helps us. We can't rely on others to figure that out. Help us? Yes. Do it? No. Which is hard as hell, isn't it? Ugh. Diet and exercise are not be all end alls. Positive thoughts aren't. Laughing daily isn't. Love, hugs. There is no one thing that is the cause of suffering and struggles, or that can work for all of us, most of us, or any of us. Everything works in tandem, and sometimes, just sometimes, it's just our vessel that we reside within that does have struggles and will no matter what cure we try. Tell someone paralyzed they just need to drink more coconut water and think happy thoughts. They'll be fine. Who seriously thinks that daily is delicious anyway? Icky to me like avocados. Sorry to those of you who like either of those constantly. Avocados to me is like stinky feet. And coconut water. I like coconuts. I like coconut milk. Coconut water is okay. But I cannot stand a lot of it at once. Yet for whatever reason, everyone is convinced so many just are lazy, stupid, unhealthy, eating wrong, on and on. At the end of the day, we each have individual bodies and minds that don't all work the same. I am broken. That will never change. My mind and body don't work like others. I am just not hiding it. But many of my struggles I've had since I was a child. They just weren't this bad, and I'm going to damn well attempt to reverse age my mind and body versus allowing it to further deteriorate. That is accomplished by me. The daily workouts also helps because then my mind gears up for creation and writing, while after working out, I need a break. I am not exhilarated after working out like many. I feel like I could pass out and take a nap often. It's rare I have ever felt like I can take on the world after one. For those of you who get that energy boost, awesome. I'm envious of you. Never has been me. Not in my 20s, 30s, and now 40s. I'm sure the has all the answers person out there is like, well, it is because of this or that, or eating this or that. I have worked out at different times of the day, ate different snacks, meals, drinks, protein things, and let me repeat that I have never felt hyper energized after working out. Just like I have never been motivated to. I have probably mentioned it, but for anyone new who has never heard me say this, I don't get motivation to do things. I find the motivation once I'm doing it. Nothing comes to me easy that way. I am not a person, despite how it seems, who gains motivation beforehand. I also get it only after I get deep into what I'm doing. So far, I've been pretty good at getting that in daily here and there. I mean, life adjusts, so why shouldn't we? My goal was always to learn my routine, my body rhythm, always adjusting it and relearning it depending on the time of my life I'm in. Not using apps, not using common advice, not doing what others said, because I naturally just don't fit that stuff. When I sold Avon, I couldn't use their forms for keeping track of my finances because I needed to make my own. I couldn't figure out their system, but it worked for so many. It was also what I needed from it. Wasn't the same as others. When I lost weight, I couldn't follow another's system. When I work out, I listen to myself, my body, my mind, my natural flow. First is always to learn it. We are ever changing and ever adjusting too. So as I said before, I have decided to anti-age. I'm gonna start to get younger, not older. I already don't age. Have you seen pictures of me now from long ago? Have you seen how I look and guessed my age correctly? I've never had anyone guess my age correctly. Even if they're being snarky and quote-unquote funny and using an older age. I don't care if you do. You gather that Mr. Funny to poke at me? That's not an insult. Call me fat, ugly, old. I am unbothered by insults about my looks. I lived with a mother who did it always. Also, my own mind is 24/7 on repeat for everything negative that someone could say about me. I am finally bringing back skirts into my life too, without worry that I'm going to be called a whore and a slut for wearing them, for looking nice, for wanting to dress like a woman, playing with hair colors and makeup again as well. For me, not for anyone else, which is what I dealt with for far too long. My mom calling me the worst that anyone could call you. Or because I was sitting and laughing with a friend, I was called a whore and a slut for so little reasons. My looks were always torn apart. So I don't get too bothered by someone saying I'm old, fat, ugly is really an insult. This past week, when I wrote this, I've been doing a couple different things in terms of attempting to get everything back on track. 2 nights ago kind of messed me up. It was over 90 here, and that night I didn't get much sleep just because my room was pretty stuffy feeling when I went to bed. Also, my mind was deciding turning off was a no-go. So I didn't go to sleep until probably nearer to 3 a.m., which for me is not good. It's not only bad for my mental state, but also for my body. I have found if I don't get at least 7 hours of sleep per night, 8 is better, then my body will feel really bad. Not just sluggish, but the pain and exhaustion in the muscles creep up as much as the weakness. I am still having a lot of struggles around that too. Not to the point that it's been. I struggle a lot with my body if I go without sleep or don't go to bed like I should. The week that I am reworking this to get it ready to go, Kona has not been feeling well. He fell off the bed in the middle of the night, and though he seemed to be okay, the past few days he seems to be a bit off. Add to that, he has been stuffy, and he is being monitored now. So at night I have to give him medication and try to cater to him. get him to eat something too, because during the day he just wants to sleep. So I haven't been getting to bed like I really want to at a good time. Some nights, yes. Most, no. I am trying to get better around that, but managing the bedtime routine can be as much of a struggle as getting to bed at a certain time. I'm doing better at getting exercise in, though. Recently, I bumped up the recumbent bike to 45 minutes and seemed to do okay with it. I can't do much else after from how long I'm on it, but also from my body being pushed just a bit too much. So after I need to rest for a while. Seems like an hour to 2 hours is my limit for being on my feet or sitting down before I need to shift. Also, I have a magnesium foam I rub all over my legs and shoulders after, which can help lessen the pain during the day. That can be hard if I want to clean or need to do something that it will affect that though. But on the upside for all of it, I recently went out front to do some gardening last week and actually managed to kneel down to weed, like bend my knees fully without feeling severe pain. I felt a twinge of it when I'd shift a certain way, and getting up was a bit of effort, but I used the bucket as a support system. The bucket I move about to gather weeds in, That worked well. I gotta get myself one of those kneeling things or a new knee pad in general to use, but it worked out how I was doing it. I was super ecstatic for that new revelation. It has been over a year since I could bend my knees at all, let alone without excruciating pain that felt like razors. So being able to not just do that, but remaining there for a bit to pull some weeds and work in the yard made me feel really good. It was definitely well overdue and a very happy development. Also a nice FU to anyone who again didn't think I'd get back to this space without some divine intervention of which is called what worked for them. I'm a stubborn mule. I'm a workhorse, and all I've ever really learned over time is that the only way I feel better about myself is if I'm challenging myself and working to better myself, as well as working toward a goal that I meet, then create another to meet after. Not go run to this doctor or that doctor who won't listen and won't help, or this person to fix me, and instead I put in the time and effort on self, listen to my own self, not others on how to fix me, then simply do it step by step, even if slow, even if small progressive steps, to gradually overcome whatever it is. I have learned many don't have faith in me. And you know what? Every time that I achieve one of those goals, even if they're tiny, all I think is, this is for you. The person who didn't trust me, believe in me, and decided to choose against me. If you bet against me, that's on you. If you assume the worst in my intentions, that is on you. If you don't believe I can achieve a goal, that is on you. So if they don't believe in you, good. There is another stepping stone for you to achieve your goal to spite them. Not because you want to prove to them that you can, as much as we will prove we are more capable than others think or believe. Show them why it's wrong to bet against you. Far too many want us to remain small and not achieve stuff because they don't want to see it happen. Not for you, for them. Because of what it would mean for them. Because of what it makes them face. There are so many people who to you may seem so happy with their families and their perfect lives, but in truth they are not happy. They put on a show, then at night while they try to fall asleep, they're not happy. They're lonely and sad and no better than you. Maybe they've even achieved a goal and have lots of success, but go to bed with someone new every night, and they seem like they have it all together. But when that darkness rises around us in the midnight hour, we all face our reckoning within self. We all will find in silence at times the real stuff bubbles up within us. We lay awake at night pondering, or we sit there when everyone is gone, and suddenly in that silence the brain says, you know what? Time to face a lot of stuff we didn't want to earlier when we were so busy we didn't have to. And if you never experience that, yay, I'm totally happy for you. That's not something I have experienced unless I'm so busy my mind keeps on everything but what I need to face. Which leads me into my writing struggles. I thought I had written this post out already and brought this all up, but apparently not so with my writing. If I by chance have mentioned any of it, forgive me for any repeats. Often I do repeat just for new listeners or readers so that they get told something if they haven't heard it before anyway. It's how most work who do content creation. It's rare for someone to go back into your past posts to peruse them. Anyway, I have discussed the struggles that I've dealt with when it comes to the writing and getting back into that space. And I finally realized what was happening. A few different things were front and center. One, the clear one, is that my brain got lazy from not being able to write. But then I slowly realized that not only was I often being criticized by my mom, and so I probably absorbed the mindset around diving deep into my writing of that I'm pathetic or bad for it, or that if I went into that space I was wrong for it and it became a trigger of bad. But I also think that a part of me was scared to reach that point. Scared because I've been in survival mode and writing wasn't bringing money into my world. So therefore, if I touched into it, oh no, I should be doing this or that instead. And when I tap into it, I could struggle too with the push to finish quickly and get stuff out because this is my work and I need to do it. As if that isn't enough pressure on my writing brain. I also feel that it's why I would mentally fatigue out when I would write. My brain was rebelling so that I felt like I could barely think, feeling as if I had ran a marathon and was so worn down I would tire out. So a lot of things were taking place inside of me when I would try to tap into this space. Not to mention, I am still fully grieving the loss of my Doberman. On top of the dogs who passed a year ago from when this comes out. August being one, 2 in October, Mila being rehomed in November. My brother and I were forced to move in December with less than 24 hours as a total time. Mila is still a huge space inside of me that I'm grieving and broken from. I'm not sure I can recover from that one. It's going to haunt me and hurt me for a long time. I would love to have another Doberman one day, the black male I always wanted, but I just don't know if that will happen. More so if I stayed renting and the people were against the breed. Dobermans are still stigmatized. Bad owners are the ones who should be in truth, not the breeds. Because of all those pressures and the grief, my mind, I think, also doesn't want to reach back into that emotional space. Writing is emotional. I can barely write most passages without tearing up. I have to go deep into that space to write well. And my emotional space is just tired, raw, exhausted. It's been a long, hard few years of too many tears and emotional ups and downs. It's a huge struggle for my brain to be all, yay, let's dive really deep back into that space that's been a source of stress now. Woo! I know now that this is completely normal for veteran writers too. There are natural ebbs and flows. Life isn't always linear, nor is writing. It's not a problem of losing the ability to write, but the rhythm and stamina for it. Writing fiction requires entering a different space of depth, a different sort of focus than many things that might require focus. So it's not that I lost that ability or focus as much as the type of focus I need has gone offline from lack of use and lack of training. I would almost compare it to when I used to, as I am now, write only on the weekends. I would write for hours and hours and write what I then wrote during a full week, which is around 14,000 words or more during the course of the weekend. I would work on different books at that time too. I ended up then working on 4 or more books that trickled down to 4 over the course of the years. After that, I decided to solely focus on one, and ended up doing my daily writing for an hour Monday through Friday, which skyrocketed my output, which I was also criticized for. If you write fast, it's bad. No, some of us have a natural instinct with writing that it just flows naturally. The story doesn't stagnate, and I trained my brain to output when I sat down for 1,000 to 4,000 words every day, Monday through Friday. So I was able to crank out that work. I didn't have to stop and work through a lot during that time. The story naturally just ran. It poured out of me. It was merely a matter of keeping up with it. Quality isn't determined by slow or fast writing. Well, the problem that took place was that over time, I did end up having to work through more of the stuff I was writing and was getting a lot of pressures on me. So my word count began to lower, and that was around when my mom passed. That low word count output was hard. I was conditioned to go hard, fast, and pour the writing out of me. And too many things got in my head. Critiques from former friends who I now realized never had good intentions for me and were probably dealing with a level of envy for that ability. Not a negative or knock for them, just like with me wishing I could crank out a book faster, like some authors, or the type of writing another might. It's just being envious of that ability. But they let that infect their words to me, and that was the negative that infected me. It can be way better for me not to involve people in my work zone because of that. hard lesson to learn again and again. With me only writing on the weekends, though, it was a struggle to really get back into the story each weekend and the writing. The muscle was lazy, and it was like it has become now. So I'm starting over, which, to be utterly transparent, feels really freaking insulting. I am offended by my own self and my own ability to not write like I used to not have the same output I had before. It is frustrating. It is a pain in my tuchus. It is the worst feeling to feel like I was on top of the world for that writing ability, even when some would critique me for only writing an hour a day as if it was terrible. I would secretly giggle and think to myself, I will have finished this book in less time than you with yours and have it out and published while you are still writing. So you go on with your bad self. And that bit of smugness, knowing I was doing well, knowing I was able to put that out there, I thrive off that space. I crave it. I need it. I do my very best when I know I am at the top of my game and that freight train is on the tracks being fed coal to the point I'm going to tear down a freaking mountain if it gets in my way. That is who I am. That is my personality. That is the space I do best in, and I am at my happiest when I have a goal and I hit it, and then I punch through to the next goal already set up on that track, and I see it. This is me competing against me, not another, mind you. So to have run off these metaphorical tracks and derail is a pain in the fucking ass. It is. On not the pleasurable kind. As I said, it is frustrating as hell to start from the bottom, but now I realize that's the only way I can get my writing butt back up. Start from the bottom. So what does that look like? It looks like me beginning how I started. Not the super beginning where I was doing poetry and short horrors once a year, though I am working on a regimen where I am trying to strengthen that to write more and more on-demand horror shorts. But it looks like me just writing when I can on the weekends and focusing there. Writing as much as I can and shifting the story I work on. I have 4 I cycle through depending. 3 shorts and the main novel that I was working on when I quit writing and my mom passed. In between there, I am trying to do exercises to get my brain back into that space as well. It can be hard because my podcast takes all of my time and effort that I'm not spending on the dogs. Cleaning, tending self, the house, the dogs. Being over 14 and a half years old now, they do have their own problems, like Kona with his stuffiness. I am better than I was last year and 2 years ago, but definitely slowly making progress. At least I now have a way forward and more of an understanding as to why I was struggling so much to get into that writing space and focusing there. I now get the reasoning behind the problems, which has been a huge help. Maybe part of the struggle as well. I like to understand why, And since I don't have that answer, my brain was being a rebellious little turd. Wanting to understand that before I delved back into the fiction. Now that I do understand more of the why, even if it isn't everything, I feel this relaxation inside where I'm going, okay, I get it now. makes sense. It gives me a building block, one little brick. Now it's about adding more with each stage of my writing I get done. Not stage as much as word counts I'm doing, how much I write in general. I'm not setting goals or times or otherwise. I'm just doing it as I can, when I can, and how I can, and using that as my I did it, and here's one more small step, and giant leap for author Kimkind. Also, I'm not too sure if anyone would be interested, but I was thinking that part of what could help me was offering my help to you. I was going to get a small group of people together who wanted to write a story and come up with one too, and who needed the help. Sort of a let me coach you on creating a story thing. I used to offer coaching for friends a long time ago, but ended up having a bad experience, and it set me on the I'm not offering this anymore path for a long time. This is not a paid thing. It is completely free. I eventually want to create a course around it, so I want to get some ideas on building that by helping you come up with, then create and write your own story. I would help you come up with the idea, then it would deepen that idea by me offering to bounce those ideas back and forth with you, then guide you on writing it. We are not going for $1 million bestsellers ideas. I mean, they could be, but more just to help you get the process going, understand it, or deepen it. Even if you're a veteran writer, it could help. Why listen to me? I mean, I've written over 53 stories and rarely ever was criticized around the bad story. I've coached many who went on to publish their work, and one who even got a 6-figure deal. No, I won't name drop. And I am only worth listening to if I actually do help you. No harm done if you think I'm terrible at it or just don't think I can offer you anything. You're not the target. The target is the person who thinks I can offer them help, and this is free help I am offering for a small group, for a small time, and this is an exclusive thing. I won't offer it to just anyone, nor take on just anyone, and again the group will remain small so that I can fully focus on each person, 5 to 10 people max. 5 most likely. If interested, feel free to message and ask more around it to see if it could be a fit for the help. There's plenty of writing advice, free courses, and more. I'm just wanting help myself by helping you and helping you to actually pursue that want of writing a story. I don't care about your experience at all, or goals outside of that. You will actually put in the effort. The advice will be catered to each person. The group will more than likely be on Facebook, but potentially whatever works best for all. Discord can be an option, or anywhere that we can all work together in one space. Just message me and let me know. More to come. Would you like to make a difference? A gift of 5, 10, 15, or more would make a huge impact on my ability to keep this podcast going for you and upgrade my equipment. With your gift, we can grow this together because I want to make this the best I can for you. And frankly, you would help so much with far more than that. You'd be helping me change my life. Give today at ko-fi.com/Kimberly Sue Iverson. That's ko-fi.com/Kimberly Sue Iverson. Your presence here matters so much to me, so thank you for being here. I am beyond grateful you chose to spend this time with me. What are your thoughts? Share with me and start a conversation. Just don't be rude about it. Remember, kings and queens, everyone is fighting battles inside. nobody can see. Who are you willing to see today? And who are you willing to let see you today? I hope someone can bring a smile to you today, or you can bring a smile to someone else. If you would like the chance for your story to be read, whether it's something you wrote, a story passed down in your family, or have a suggestion on a story to read, get in touch. Stories to read at KimberlySueIverson.com. That's stories to read at KimberlySueIverson.com. If you'd like to follow my socials, I would love to have you. Don't ever hesitate to comment and say hi either. Find me under at Kimberly Sue Iverson for most sites: Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Blue Sky, and TikTok. There's also a Facebook page for Redhead Rewriting Reality. X is the only site I use Kimber Bites on. I also have a newsletter for my work. That's bit.ly/letters from Kimberly. bit.ly/letters from Kimberly. I always try to use the same profile picture and name no matter where I am, but you can always find my links on my link cave. That's KimberlySueIverson.com/link cave. That's LINKCAVE.